individual have over 200 voters card with him?
Good. We have reported last week last year at October. Yes. Good. Last week last year in October local government in Akwa Ibom State. During the primaries that was conducted, in that local government, we keep our permanent voters card for the safety in the police station. What happened? They burnt down the police station and carted away our permanent voters card. Even in a police station. This one happened in Akwa Ibom last year. As I speak to you, we have to take the effort of reproducing the permanent voters card. Last week also in Akwa Ibom, in Ikono local government, as well also in Ward 3 in Ikota Basi, they also attacked INEC to carry away permanent voters card. Who are those responsible? The reprobate political elite we have in our fatherland.
So again, let's come back to the studio. We'll get back to you very soon. Mr. Showumi, we've been talking about the importance of the collection of the voters' card. Let's quickly look at other areas. The president has not assented to the Electoral Act, you know, the one that was amendment sent to him. Some people have said this is going to have a negative impact on the election, considering that over a number of people were not able to vote, or they were accredited only using the incidence form in 2015.
Yes, there's a link with what Mike was saying earlier, because we need to understand that for any election to be credible, you must have democratic participation by the vast majority of the people. And where you have a huge number of our population yet to collect the PVC, then that is very troubling. Before you come to the issue of the election itself, what INEC did, they have done a lot to try and improve the system. But what they did when people were to register, you know, for PVC, when we did the direct data capture, they decentralized the whole thing. They went to neighborhoods where people were made to register. I registered in a street, not in any local government. Mm-hmm. But when it came to collection of PVC, INEC centralized it in local government. Mm-hmm. So people faced major challenges, you know, moving from one area to the other, you know, to their local government headquarters to collect it. It's even better in cities. Most of the people that will be deprived will be in the rural areas because of the distance from one point to their local government headquarters. So what I think INEC needs to do is, again, to go back to how they collected the data in the first instance. Go back to the same neighborhood where you captured those data, and then go back to that neighborhood, you know, to give them there. Because they must live around that area. And then let them have their PVC. We cannot blame it on our people. We have to blame it on the system, on the institution currently. INEC. And that is one of the reasons, because when you have thousands, hundreds of thousands of PVC locked up in a police station or locked up in local government headquarters, you are bound to have politicians interested in laying their hands on it. But where you decentralize it, you only have about a couple of hundreds or 50, you know, in one neighborhood where, you know, there won't be so much interest, you know, in doing that. So we need to look, and I'm glad my friend Mike, he's an INEC commissioner. I hope they will actually consider this issue. Go back to those neighborhoods where you collected it. What about the elderly people? How will they be able to move around? Those are the people that will be mostly affected. So it's the system that is disenfranchising the people. It is not the people refusing to collect their PVC. So that's much said. On the issue of the electoral amendment, which is yet to be signed, one major important area of it is the issue of electronic transmission, you know, of the results, you know, and then the use of the data capture machine, so that the whole thing could be electronic voting could be acceptable, you know, in the country. It has huge implications, because once they are sent to that, it will enable Nigerians in diaspora to be able to vote, you know, because then you'll be able to transmit elections results, you know, electoral results, you know, electronically, legally in the country. If you do that, we have millions of our people abroad, to the extent that the influence of, you know, influencing voters with money will have little relevance eventually on the outcome of any election because of the huge results that will also come from outside. So we've not been able to do that. The moment we don't allow this amendment to go through, then we are also saying no to Nigerians in diaspora, until 4 years' time. The second issue is the issue of trust, transparency. If we don't allow results to be transmitted immediately, once they are signed in the presence of all the parties, it leads to suspicion. And then you want to take the whole result to one collation center when in reality, right from the polling unit, people can transmit those results as long as it has been signed by all the party agents. If we don't sign that, I think we'll continue to have the issue of trust in the outcome of elections.
No, Oscar, he's talked about transmitting the results electronically. Yeah. Some people are talking about voting electronically because we are now in an ICT age where we can do most things on our telephones. Yeah. If we could vote on our telephones, wouldn't that make life a lot easier? You don't even have to leave your house. There will be a way for you to confirm your registration online. You will do that, you will vote, and because sometimes it's raining, you cannot go out and queue to vote. Okay. So if you can sit down in the comfort of your home and vote, wouldn't that make the whole thing easier for everybody concerned?
Well, easy for those who are not technologically challenged. That is a
grandmothers in villages have telephones.
Grandmothers in your village. There are people who will shoot that down and say in their own village they don't have such grandmothers. They don't understand any. They can listen and talk on the phone, but they cannot touch anything on the phone. So that is, they will shoot it down because they will always go on this difference that continues to create this divide. Oh yes, you people want this because we're disadvantaged. They'll shoot it down. The other aspect he did not even mention is the punishment to the INEC officials, the electoral officers, that was in that bill. The punishment to them if, for any reason, they connive. All of this were refused, for reasons best known to our great president.
Well, there are already provisions in the current Electoral Act that deals with that. Yesterday, we heard the news of some INEC officials who have been jailed for connivance in some ways.
The one you heard is called selective. Once you can link it up with Desiani, then that's it. Everybody gets strong and everybody starts up because it was only Desiani that was given money during that election. Come on, don't go with those things. I mean, it's a joke. As far as I'm concerned, it's a joke. But let us make it clear. If you're an electoral officer and you compromise your position, something should be done because other people will be watching you and they will come after you, not look for a big name.
Well,
that's all we do.
Two were convicted in the course of this week.
Yeah, and two connected to who? Who gave them money? Thank you.
One person.
Okay, when we 20 days to the presidential election, and Mr. Igini mentioned something that is very, very important. He said, yes, people have their voters' card, but how much of them or how many of them will go out to vote? How can we break this? How can we ensure that the people actually go out on that day to vote for the person that they want?
No, I don't think that's what we're discussing. You can take a horse to the stream, you can't force it to drink. I have my PVC. If I don't want to go out, there's no law that says I should go.
Yes, there's no law, but it is very important to this process.
The issue is getting the PVC first of all. Getting it, because if any man comes out to register, and he explained it, you just take a walk within your neighborhood, you register. When it's time to get your PVC, they tell you to go somewhere else. What if you can't afford transport to that place?
But it's also important that we all come out to vote.
We know that. Now we're discussing.
Okay, we'll just take a short break, come back, and continue this very interesting conversation indeed.